Rarely have we seen a takedown of a league commissioner as calmly or efficiently delivered. The fact that it came from EVISCERATES Cathy, one of the league's best players and most respected voices, only amplified its impact.
Scott Van Pelt just schooled the WNBA commissioner, and frankly, it wasn't even close. On his ESPN show, SVP methodically dismantled Cathy Engelbert's leadership, or the absence of it, and the sports world is talking. When a takedown comes from one of the most trusted voices in sports, it carries weight. So here's a question for you. Is Cathy Engelbert's time up?
The response from WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert came in the form of a statement, which is itself a statement, but not one Engelbert should aspire to make. When a star player says directly, "We have the worst leadership in the world and you are the leader," your response that you're disheartened, that your perspectives differ, makes me wonder if you heard what Fee said. Because it's not differing perspectives. It was a direct call for your job.
Let's get some context. The WNBA is getting more attention than ever. Credit the excitement from Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Paige Buckers, and the buzz around this chaotic season. But instead of riding that wave, what's the big story? It isn't record viewership or a fantastic finals preview. No, it's Scott Van Pelt on ESPN blasting Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. He delivered it with his signature style, calm, precise, almost courteous, but with a devastating impact.
Collier said, "I've earned this platform," which she has, and said, "I don't care what the fine is," which, if I hear her correctly, is to say you have nothing to threaten me with. The chorus of voices of current stars in the WNBA, which echo Collier's sentiment, didn't have a single opposing voice.
What started it? Napheesa Collier lit the match earlier this week. In her exit interview, she essentially labeled the league's leadership the worst in all of pro sports. And she didn't stop there. She directly exposed a private chat where Engelbert supposedly claimed Caitlin Clark should be thankful for the WNBA, since she wouldn't be earning money otherwise. I'm sorry, what? Did Cathy Engelbert somehow sleep through Clark's entire Iowa career? Was she unaware of Clark's NIL empire, which was larger than most WNBA veteran salaries before she was even drafted?
As for what Engelbert is alleged to have said to Collier, if she actually suggested Caitlin Clark should be grateful for what she makes off the court, that's preposterous. Did you miss the Iowa years? Clark is the Tiger Woods tide that lifts all boats, and we know this show is proof. The highest rating we have ever had followed one of her games at Iowa. The WNBA has benefited from her presence more than the other way around, even though this year for Caitlin Clark was essentially lost.
The CVP focused right on that point. He highlighted something completely obvious that the commissioner seems to have missed. Caitlin Clark is the rising tide lifting the WNBA, not the reverse. The league is gaining more from Clark than she is from the league. Van Pelt even brought the evidence. ESPN's top ratings for women's college basketball, linked directly to Caitlin Clark. The All-Star game? Clark was the biggest draw, and still the commissioner suggests Clark should be grateful. That isn't just out of touch, it's completely delusional. Then SVP went in for the kill. No yelling, no ranting.
Post from Elena Deladon on Instagram, who said, and I quote, "It's the care for the human part for me. I'm not sure Cathy knows I've retired. Heard from everyone but her." And I don't like to pile on, that's not my thing. But when a player is beloved, respected, and decorated as Deladon retires as a multiple MVP, league champion, 7-time All-Star, and member of the W25, which celebrated the top 25 players in the league's first 25 years.
He brought up Elena Deladon, a multi-time MVP, a league champion, and one of the top 25 players in the history of the WNBA. She just retired, and what did she reveal that she'd heard from everyone? Fans, players, coaches, except for Cathy Engelbert. Let that sink in. One of the most admired veterans in the league's history hangs it up, and the commissioner can't even shoot her a text. That isn't leadership, it's negligence. Scott Van Pelt identified it for what it is, a failure to handle the most fundamental, decent parts of the job. Reach out. Say thanks. Honor your stars. It has no cost, and it shows the players that you give a damn. But Cathy was apparently too busy. Then after being called out, she issues a bland statement about being disheartened and committed to collaboration. SVP saw right through it. This isn't a matter of different viewpoints. This is about the commissioner being identified as the problem.
According to Sportico, franchise valuations have soared. Players want more money and the CBA expires at the end of this month. This was a whole lot more than just a shot across the bow. The WNBA Finals begin this Friday, and we typically hear from Adam Silver on the eve of the NBA Finals. Cathy Engelbert has got to do more than say she's
Now here's the part that makes it worse. Not a single voice has spoken up to defend Engelbert. Not one. Not a player. Not a coach. Not even a random intern tweeting from the league's main office. Silence. Instead, we've witnessed a wave of players echoing Collier's statement. Lexi Hull supported her. Sophie Cunningham outright called Engelbert the most delusional leader our league has seen. Even Gino Auriemma, who agrees with almost no one, stated the WNBA's so-called physicality is harming the game. When everyone from rookies to legendary coaches is saying the same thing, you have a major issue. And here's the kicker. Van Pelt noted that this is more than just drama. This is more than a fiery soundbite. It's all happening right before the CBA negotiation. The collective bargaining agreement is expiring, and the players are done with being underpaid, dismissed, and told they should be thankful. When a top star calls league leadership the worst in the world, and another respected veteran says she's proud of her for speaking up, that's not business as usual. It's a full-blown rebellion. Scott Van Pelt understands. He said this was more than a shot across the bow. It was Collier essentially telling the league to either fix this or they'll tear it all down. That isn't an exaggeration. The players hold the power now. Caitlin Clark isn't just another talented rookie. She's an entire economy. She attracts sponsorships, TV viewership, and ticket sales on a level the WNBA has never experienced. And if Engelbert truly thinks the league is more important than the players generating that income, she is either totally out of touch or intentionally ignorant.
You throw that woman a parade. To fail even the most basic and decent things to do, which is to reach out to say thanks, which by the way couldn't be easier to do, is to fail the most basic.
Now about the officiating, because Essen Van Pelt didn't ignore the Caitlin Clark angle on this either. He pointed out the absurdity of claiming Clark owes her success to the WNBA. Everyone knows it's the other way around. Clark's brand was huge long before she joined the league. Her NIL money, her TV ratings, her ticket sales at Iowa, they all confirm it. She brought that value to the league. The WNBA didn't create Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark elevated the WNBA. To minimize that isn't just foolish, it's self-destructive. SVP also stressed something subtle yet powerful, the unanimity. Not one player defended Engelbert. Instead, more and more voices joined in, from Lexi Hull to Sophie Cunningham to veterans all over the league. Even coaches like Cheryl Reeve and Becky Hammon have been fined for criticizing the league's officiating and leadership. When the criticism is so widespread and the official response is so feeble, you have a recipe for disaster. Now let's discuss optics, because Van Pelt understands their importance in sports. Right before the finals, instead of building hype for the matchup, the dominant story is players rip commissioner, coaches fined, and stars call leadership the worst in sports. That doesn't create excitement, it creates resentment. SVP was clear, you can't have this degree of public anger without accountability from the top. And this is where Scott really made his point. He said the league is at a critical juncture. Franchise valuations are soaring. Expansion is being discussed. Media rights are worth billions. This should be the WNBA's golden age. Instead, the commissioner is under attack. Players are furious, and fans are left wondering if the league can even be taken seriously. That's not sustainable. That's not leadership. It's a failure to seize what should be a historic moment. The way SVP articulated it was brutal in its simplicity. He said, when a player like Napheesa Collier states, "We have the worst leadership in the world," that is not a viewpoint. It's a direct demand for your job. And he's correct. You can't put a positive spin on that. You can't run from it. You either prove them wrong through your actions, or you step down. And here is the difficult truth that Van Pelt hinted at, but everyone understands. Adam Silver is paying attention. The NBA financially supports the WNBA. The NBA props it up, and Silver has a strong interest in ensuring the WNBA doesn't collapse. If ESPN figures like Stephen A. Smith and Scott Van Pelt are openly questioning the commissioner's future, how long until Silver intervenes and makes a change? Fans are putting the pieces together. The officiating is poor. The commissioner doesn't communicate with her players. Injuries are mounting. Legends are retiring without so much as a thank you. Players get fined for telling the truth. And now, Caitlin Clark, the Golden Goose, is being boiled into controversy because Engelbert chose to downplay her significance. It's as if the league is tripping over its own feet just when it should be sprinting ahead. SVP wasn't just giving analysis, he was issuing a warning. Fix this or you risk losing everything that has been built. And he's absolutely right. If the WNBA can't keep its stars healthy, can't protect players from poor officiating, and can't even honor its icons, why should fans trust that the league is serious about its growth? That's why Van Pelt's critique hit so hard. He didn't yell. He didn't scream. He didn't make it about him. He just calmly presented the facts, and the facts were damning. Collier's statement, Della Dunn's retirement, Clark's impact. The officiating crisis, the silence from the top, when you add it all up, it portrays a league being undermined by its own commissioner, and the online reaction confirmed it. Fans were in agreement. Players were sharing Collier's comments. Even casual viewers who don't typically follow the WNBA were saying, wow, this is a total mess. When your reputation is that tarnished, a press release about being disheartened won't suffice. Scott Van Pelt didn't scream, didn't rant. He just spoke the truth, and it was cutting. When players, fans, and ESPN's most prominent voices all concur that the WNBA has a leadership crisis, it is impossible to ignore. So, what's next? Does Cathy Engelbert resign, or does Adam Silver force her out? Leave your thoughts below, and remember to like and subscribe.